Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for a lemon garden video. Alright guys, so this video is actually going to be a pretty important one, at least if you aren't a profitable trader, or maybe if you're kind of floundering in between being profitable, break even. If you're not finding yourself consistent, hopefully you'll find some value in what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So, if you've been in the garden, I've been a trader for quite some time, well over a decade now, and by the grace of God, I've been fairly profitable for the majority of that time. But there was obviously a time period where I wasn't profitable, where I was consistently losing money. And that came in the form of many things, mostly as a boom bust trader. It was pretty rare where I would just deposit money and then lose it all. Most of the time, I would deposit money and my money would inflate. And then, because of that inflation, or inflating, I would make a poor decision and I would end up just losing it all. So I feel like that's probably the majority of people's experience in trying to become a trader. And I've been thinking about trying to create a visual and verbal way of kind of describing that reality, and kind of also sharing the ways I've gotten through it. Now, this isn't just my creation. I've taken a bunch of things from a bunch of different people, current traders living today, and obviously traders that have long passed. Like, one of my favorite traders of all time is Jesse Livermore. And one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite traders of all time is not only because he was just extremely successful, but because he was also extremely unsuccessful. If you look into Jesse Livermore's life, he was the definition of a boom bust trader to the highest extremes. And a lot of reasons why that was, outside of his personal issues, was that he also didn't have the luxury that I have, that you have if you're listening to this video, of a lot of experience from other people. Okay, so a lot of the things he went through, he was the first to at least log it down and kind of create the process of understanding it, right? So he was kind of trailblazing that path. So I found it all the more impressive that he was so successful while being so self-reflective without any form of experience to latch onto outside of himself, at least to the degree that we have today. So this is going to be heavily influenced by him. There are a lot of other traders as well, that you can, Paul Tudor Jones, Qualamagi. Qualamagi's a working one today. He's very successful trend trader. So there's a lot of traders I've taken a lot of things from, that are far beyond me, in my opinion. But hopefully you get some value in what I'm going to share here. So this is the 10 steps to becoming a profitable trader. Now, it sounds simple, these 10 steps, but they are a process and they are hard. Okay, they are hard. Now, it's different for everyone. Some people are going to get some of this stuff a lot faster than others, but everyone can do this, I believe. Everyone can do this. Okay, so let's start off with the first step. So the first step is, what I find is, you hear about trading. Hearing about trading is the first thing that everyone goes through. And at first, most of the time, trading sounds pretty alien, kind of like a casino. And depending on who you hear it from or where you hear it from, it also sounds extremely enticing. So, hearing about trading is obviously going to be the first step of becoming a profitable trader. You find out what it is. Next is you take a trade. So, now today, it's a lot easier to just get up and take a trade. There's a lot more avenues to do so, whereas in the past it was a bit more of a process. You didn't have the internet to do it, but today it's easier than ever to just get up, make a brokerage account or open a crypto account on some exchange and just take a trade. But that is definitely what you're going to go through on the second step. And then third is lose money. So this is actually really important, because this is usually what separates the people who are going to stick around and the people who are just going to say, this was a pretty interesting experience, but it's not for me. And this is what you tend to get. Okay, beginning the journey slash end of the journey. So many people this is the end of their journey, at least for the time period in their life where they'll do these three things and then they lose money and they wash their hands and walk away. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing. Some people don't like gambling in the casino. Some people don't like poker. Some people don't like blackjack, etc. This is a game, guys. And for some people, this isn't their game. Okay? However, for many people, it is the beginning of their journey. Okay? It's beginning the journey where they're going to go through the process and they're going to take that fourth step, which is right here. Learn how to trade. Okay, so learning how to trade. So learning how to trade is not just pressing the button and taking a trade. It's actually going through the process of why am I going to take this trade? That is the process. Now, these days, you have a very difficult time on how to trade, learning how to trade. And that's because you have so many pieces of information floating around via YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, etc. The accessibility to trading and social media have made it really hard to have focus. And that's often a lot of people's issue. So number 5 is trying to learn about edge in markets. And this is where most people actually never develop becoming a good trader or a consistent trader. Okay, they don't really know what edge in markets even means. They don't know what edge is. So they're trading other people's ideas, other people's strategies, and they don't even know what the edge of those ideas or strategies are, if there is any. Okay, so they don't learn about edge, which I'll talk a little bit about. And then number 6 is learn about risk management. And usually when you're going through the process of learning about risk management, that's because you're continuously falling into number 3 here of losing money, even after you've begun the journey, right? So number 3 and number 2 is happening continuously while you're going through the process of learning how to trade and learning about edge in the markets. So you can see these two right here are obviously happening all throughout this period, okay? And that's important to understand. And this is what slows you down when you're losing money. Because most of the time, because you don't know about edge or risk management, you also don't know about how to lose money in a consistent and sustainable way. Because losing money in the markets is inevitable, but there is a correct way to do it. And then next is number 7, develop a backtest / forward testing process. And this is, you rarely will see someone get to this point and then not make it to the next levels, okay? But there are people like this, and we'll talk about this, but this is key to getting to the point, the mindset of getting an edge in the market, learning about risk management, and then trying to put it into practice with a backtest / forward test testing process method, okay? And then you'll get this. You are on the journey, okay? This is the journey. You are on the journey. However, what you will find at times, most of the time actually, most people are stuck in this journey. So I call it, they're stuck on the treaded, looped path, where essentially, let's make this very personal. Like for me, first thing I learned about, right, was Ichimoku. So Ichimoku is a very simple working strategy, okay? Ichimoku. And it made me money. And that was before I even knew any of this, okay? However, because of variance in the market, I eventually lost, and I lost some money, and I went through a losing streak. Nothing wrong with that, but because I didn't have any sort of data and made no attempts to get data on my edge or my risk management or getting data on my back testing / forward testing to know that, I'm going to go into losing streaks, and as long as I don't exceed these risk thresholds, I'll be okay. I didn't have that data. So I immediately started to think, okay, this doesn't work, on to the next thing. So I went on to the next strategy, and that worked for a little bit. Then I lost money, losing, multiple times in a row. Okay, that doesn't work. On to the next strategy. And then on to the next, and then on to the next. And then I found myself going through loops. Back to Ichi, back to this, back to this, back to that. And all throughout this process, I'm losing money because I'm not allowing enough time for my edge to show up in my trading. Okay, that's where most people are stuck in trading. That's where most people are not consistently profitable, because they are stuck on the treaded looped path. Okay, next, number 8, develop an edge in the market. This is when, after you've back tested and forward tested a method, a process, you have developed an edge that you can measure. You have data. You have data to support your theory that, okay, this idea works. These are the shortcomings, and these are the things it exceeds at. And this is my edge, and this is my expectation of percentages of wins, losses, and profitability. This is a huge step. And this is, once you get this step, you are very, very likely to become consistently profitable in the near future. So number 8, develop an edge in the market. Number 9, develop a risk profile. Developing a risk profile usually happens in tandem with your edge, because your risk profile is usually tailored to your strategy. For example, if you have a strategy that's very trend based, okay, you look for trends in either direction, up or down. We'll just say up to keep it simple. So you're looking for price to go higher. You may need, depending on your strategy, to give price more room before it stops you out to try and get into that uptrend. So that means your profile, your risk profile, will either mean you have to give more room for your stop loss, which probably means, if you're trying to be consistently profitable and sustainable, a smaller position size. So instead of using 5% of your account in the trade, you might only be using 3% of your account in the trade. Whereas, let's say you have a really tight stop loss because your strategy allows for it, where you have tight stops with big returns, big R's, you might be able to do a bigger portion of your account in a single trade. Okay, so you're developing a customized risk profile based on the edge, your strategy in the market. Okay, and then number 10, execute your process / make money. You will finally stop losing money on a consistent basis. And as long as you execute your process, you will make money. And then finally, here we go, controlling the journey. The journey does not end. Okay, until you stop trading, the journey will not end. You're controlling the journey. But instead of walking in a treaded, looped path, okay, and I say it's treaded because you're not walking that looped path alone. That looped path is where the majority of traders walk. You're walking now on your stone path, and that stone path is yours. It's each stone in that path has been placed by your hands as you've gone through this process, as you've gone through these steps. Okay, so now that you are up to this level where you are executing your process and making money consistently, you're walking on your stone path, you're controlling your journey. You're not in a loop anymore. You have a destination. Understand? So this is what you need to look at in your trading journey. You need to essentially be self-reflective and start to analyze yourself, if you haven't already, and ask yourself, where am I in this? Am I beginning the journey? Am I on the journey right now? Am I stuck in this loop? Or am I finally breaking through and starting to control my journey and then walking on that stony path? Okay, it's very important that you do this, because the sooner you can diagnose where you're at, the sooner you can start taking steps to get yourself to the place you want to be. Okay, and there's no perfect way of doing this. There's no best way. Okay, so let's get here. This process is mandatory. I want to say this one more time. This process is mandatory to become a consistently profitable trader. There is no other solution. You cannot become consistently profitable and not go through this process. And no offense if someone disagrees, I'm sorry, you either gone through this process and don't realize it, or you're not consistently profitable. Okay, you just can't be able to be consistently profitable and not go through this reflective process. There is no perfect or best process for everyone. So this is extremely important to understand. Trading is a personal journey. It is personal. You can have people in your life that can help you develop and eventually get you on the path to become what you want to become. But at the end of the day, it's up to you on whether or not you will get to where you're going, okay, to where you envision. You have to make the decision to delay gratification, okay? You have to delay gratification. And that's what separates you from the 10 or 8 or whatever percentage that's consistently profitable. Because when you have to go through the process of all this, that means you have to start to trade in percentages. And trading in percentages and becoming consistently profitable means you're oftentimes going to be trading smaller and smaller percentages per your account risk. Okay, so you might have made, like I did back in the day, where I'm putting 25-50% of my account in a trade, and it goes well, and I make like 30% of my account, and I feel like I'm a genius. And then maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month goes by, and I lose 60% of my account in spite of the 30% I made on it. You're gonna have to go through the process to understand that you can't do that. You're gonna have to settle. You're gonna have to settle and be consistent, and that you're okay with only making 5+% maybe a week or month. Okay, because you have to have the mindset of, I am doing this to grow into the future. I need to go through the process that is slow and steady, and then I'll get to a certain size where I can sustain my life and hopefully continue to grow depending on what your goals are. Okay? And that gets to the last point. There's only the process for you. So anyone can give you a strategy, 80% win rate, 90% win rate, 70% win rate. Here's how I made $50,000 in a week. All these strategies, maybe they work, maybe they don't. Who cares? It's not yours. You can use them, see if you like them, but you're going to have to eventually develop them to become personal for you. It is near impossible. Take it from someone who's done it for over a decade here, going on 14 years now. It is near impossible to just adopt someone else's strategy and not have some sort of personal development within it for yourself. Okay, you may not even know that you've done it, but you are. Okay, you will come up with an idea in your head and start to follow it subconsciously, whether you know it or not. And it's very important that you get to the point in your process of trading where it's not subconscious, where you are consciously reflecting on what you're doing. There should be no mystery to your trading to you. You understand? I want to say it one more time. Get this through your head. There should be no mystery to your trading to you. And if there is a problem that you will have to deal with eventually. It may not be while you're trading $100, $1,000, $10,000, or even $100,000, but it will rear its ugly head when you're trading numbers that makes you uncomfortable. Okay? And when that happens, you best pray you have everything under control. Okay? So this process, 10 steps to becoming a profitable trader, look at this, use this, and analyze this. Analyze this. Understand that this is the truth. This is definitely what you have to go through to become consistently profitable. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. And the reason why there's no shortcuts is because it's life-changing, okay? If you become a profitable trader, it's a life-changing event. It doesn't mean you're going to become Warren Buffett. It doesn't mean you're going to become rich overnight. What it means is you have a skill set that you can do anywhere, at any time, at any place, as long as you have internet and a computer, and it can sustain you or your family, depending on your size, in perpetuity. If you think something like that should be cheap, the learning curve should be cheap, then that's quite entitled. The reason why 90+% do consistently fail at trading is because everyone who's ever thought of being a trader has tried to be a trader, and the majority, unfortunately, can't get past step 5, let alone step 6. Okay, you might be listening to this video and you may not even know what the hell edge is. If you don't know what edge is and you're trading, guess what you're doing? You're gambling. And there is a difference. There is a difference between gambling and trading. Okay? You have to understand that. And until you do, you're going to be stuck in step 5 and you're probably not going to be consistent on step 6. So, that's all I want to go over. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a visualization of how I've gone through my journey, how I'm still on, I'm controlling my journey at this point, but how I look at the process of trading and becoming a consistently profitable trader and remaining one. Okay, and remaining one. Just because you become one doesn't mean you're going to remain one if you let your foot off the gas. You have to be consistent in everything. And that goes in trading and outside of trading, in life as well. Become as consistent as you can. Become the best you can. And you'll find it reflect everywhere, not just in trading. Okay? So, hopefully you guys found some value in this. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. If you disagree or you think I've missed something, definitely leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. You'll find the link down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts there. I often do streams there, free streams. I do have, services I do sell. You can look into that if you're interested. But even if you don't, I try to do a lot of things for everyone, whether you're a part of the services or not. That's it. So, guys, take care. I hope you have a great day. And we'll talk again soon. And always, always remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.